Hey guys, what's up? I am back with another video today, and today I am doing a Bears-Packers preview and prediction. So as always, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, like this video if you enjoy it, comment all your thoughts and opinions, and let's get started with today's video. I do Bears predictions every week, and I will be doing Bears predictions every week of the playoff if they end up making the playoff. If you want to check out any of my other previous Bears previews and predictions, my other previous Notre Dame previews and predictions, or any of my other videos, just check out down below after you finish watching this video. So the Bears' playoff hopes come down to this one game. This game is probably the biggest game that the Bears have had in a very long time that isn't playoff related, that isn't a playoff game. This is probably the biggest game they've had in the regular season in like a decade. This has been a hard-fought rivalry that the Packers have just dominated. Under Matt Nagy, the Bears are 1-3. Against Aaron Rodgers, the Bears are I think 19-4 or 21-4. It's really, really bad. They have done terrible. So right now, the past is definitely in the Packers' favor. They won the first matchup this year, 25-41 for the Packers. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, it was 41-10, so it was pretty much a blowout at that point. So the Bears did score another 15 points, but those were kind of garbage time points, so it was a pretty big blowout. But the Bears have kind of changed over the last 5 games, and very much for the better. The Bears have scored 30-plus points for the first time since 1965. That is just crazy to me. The Bears scored 30 points against the Lions, 33 against the Vikings, 36 against the Texans, and 41 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So even though all those defenses aren't very good, they do have a lot. They have shown that the Bears are able to move the ball. And to put it in a little bit perspective, the Bears had a really, really hard time moving the ball against the Vikings the first time, and then the second time they scored 33 points. The first time they didn't score a single offensive touchdown. I think they scored 13 total points. So it was a really bad offensive performance. So with the transition from Mitch to Nick Foles, I think that has really boosted the offense dramatically. And with the Packers, you have probably the most dynamic duo in the NFL, and one of the more dynamic duos in history, Devonte Adams and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a first-ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. Devonte Adams, if he continues to play with this is a first-ballot wide receiver Hall of Famer. And the thing is this. The Bears are not going to be able to stop Devonte Adams. The Bears need to slow him down. They need to be able to at least control him, double-team him the whole game, the same way you double-team Travis Kelce and double-team Tyreek Hill and make everybody else on the Chiefs beat you. That is the only way to win. You are going to have to give up points this way, but you are going to have to stop Devonte Adams. You are going to have to make the Packers one-dimensional, and the problem with that is that the Bears right now cannot stop the run. And the Bears had a hard time stopping the run against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Jaguars didn't have James Robinson, and they are not having a good year. They do not have a good offensive line, and the Bears struggled. So that's really concerning. That is very concerning. I would say if you're a Packers fan, a keys to victory would be got to get Devonte Adams the ball, got to get the run game going, and got to shut down the Bears' run game. Those are those 3 keys for the Packers. I would say that when you are a Packers fan, you need to be able to run the ball, because if you're able to run the ball, then the Bears have to put more guys in the box, and then you'll create one-on-one matchups for your other wide receivers and maybe one-on-one matchups with Devonte Adams or him going against Kendall Vildor, our 6th-round draft pick from this year, who is not as good as even Buster Screen, and he is not that good right now as he's a rookie. But for the Bears, the 3 keys to the game are, number 1, you got to run the ball. You got to free David Montgomery. You got to feed David Montgomery. You got to continue to do that. The more you continue to do that, the better the offense is going to be. The Packers' offense is really bad at stopping the run. And if you get Mitchell Trubisky doing some of those play action plays. And obviously for the Titans it didn't work. But I think that the Titans are just not used to playing in that type of weather, and the Bears are. Being from Chicago, they're really two outdoor stadiums up north, other than Buffalo, and kind of maybe the Giants and the Jets. Not a lot of, and I guess New England. But in the NFC, the only two stadiums up north that are kind of outdoors. It's going to be really interesting to see whether they are able to get up the gut of the Packers and be able to do their zone running scheme, because David Montgomery has been a fantastic back. And I could argue maybe a top 5 back the last 5 games. He has over 500 yards in 5 games, 7 touchdowns, and I think like 4.7 yards a carry. 5.6 yards a carry. So he's just doing fantastic. He usually has a long run to start the game. So I would say that's pretty interesting. If they continue to start the game off with a long run, that could really help the Bears. You had an 80-yard run against the Texans. You had a 65-yard run against Packers. You had a 26-yard run to start the Jaguars game. I don't think you had anything to start off the Vikings or the Lions game. But when you start off that game with a big boost, it really helps your defense, your momentum, and your confidence against a division rival that you've really done really bad against. Number 2, you got to stop the run. You have to stop the run. I know Devonte Adams is going to be a big player, and the only way you're going to be able to even slow him down is by double teaming him, and that's kind of, I wouldn't even say that's a key. That's just something you have to do and hope for the best. You're not going to be able to stop him. You just got to slow him down. But you have to stop the running game. The Bears have had a really hard time all season stopping the running game. So we'll see whether or not they're able to do that. If you're able to make a team one-dimensional, and make them only have to run the ball or only have to pass the ball, that could really help the Bears in being able to put a lot of guys in the box. And with Roquan Smith playing at an all-pro level, and he should have been a Pro Bowler. He definitely should have been a Pro Bowler. Got snubbed from that. But I think that it is really important to look at, are the Bears able to continue to stop or to start stopping the running game, because that in the playoffs is also going to be important. Whether you verse the Saints or the Rams or the Seahawks or maybe the Bucks. I don't think you can verse the Bucks, but maybe you first. But that will be really critical to being able to stop the run game. That's something that they didn't do. They were able to slow down teams enough to be able to continue to win games, like against the Vikings with Dalvin Cook, against the Bucks and Ronald Jones. Against the Lions, they had a really tough time with Adrian Peterson. So you have players that shouldn't be having a good time, especially Adrian Peterson. And it's going to be really hard with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. You have to bring them down. You have to tackle them on the first time. There has to be good tackling. That's kind of the other thing to it. The third and the final key, and this is kind of a two-part key. You have to get Mitch comfortable. And by doing that, you have to get him mobile. You have to get him out on bootlegs. You have to get him out on play action. You got to give him quarterback draw plays that are designed for him to run. Because once he's running, like he was in the Dallas game last year, or these games in the last 5 stretch, you have to get him mobile at the start of the game in order to get some confidence in the guy, and then he'll start to make some passes. There's going to be one bad mistake almost every game with Mitchell Trubisky. It's whether or not you're able to stop that bad mistake from hurting you all game long. That means that you have to get a little bit of a cushion, especially at the start of the game, because the Bears have really struggled in the third quarter, other than against Jacksonville last week. The Bears' third quarter has been awful. Bears' fourth quarter is really good, so that means you have to get a good cushion in the first half to be able to stop any third quarter woes or defects. So as always, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Comment all your thoughts and opinions. And if you enjoy this video, please check out for more content by ringing that bell. As always, have a great day. Bye.